Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, and a very good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I'd like to welcome you all once again to this very beautiful edition of the program. Today is the 17th of August 2022. And in no time, we will be having a very beautiful program as usual, as we do every Wednesday. But this Wednesday, is divided into not just two, but we also have a very highly important event that is coming up in London this weekend. And we will be talking about that, and we will be discussing that. But before I bring my guest in, I would like to, say a very big thank you to my producer, Mr. Frank and Mr. Archie, and all our other presenters that are working tirelessly, to make sure that we can bring to you, all that is happening, right here as well. Once again, as we are about to, to kickstart, I say ekale, ekrole, and welcome once again to your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Between now and almost 7 p.m., we'll be discussing, about a very particular event, that has taken place here in the UK and in Ireland, and that is nothing more than the Lagos State Union and Ireland, as they will be celebrating 30 years, of, celebration. What does that mean? All these will be discussed, with my guest that is already, ready, to tell us everything that we need to know. I would like you to take your seat and let us get ready, for the event. As my guest will be appearing, on the screen, I say once again, welcome to your finest African and Caribbean radio station. We have been listening to on a very multiple different, platform. We are also being connected, by the sister platform as well this evening. Right there is my guest, because, we don't want to waste too much time. We have a lot to discuss, and he's going to be taking me through. This is not the first time that we are having them on the Star Radio UK, but it is always a pleasure, to have, the Lagos State Union. And what is it all about? What do we need to know? And what is it that they are giving back, to the community? Because in everything that we do, we are always giving back. So I would like to welcome my very important guest this evening, and I say good evening to you, Mr. Tony Ibrahim Igbo, and welcome once again to Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Good evening, Olayomi, Koiki, the infatigable Olayomi Koiki. Good evening, and also good evening to all your listeners. Ekaleo, this Tony Ibrahim Igbo, President of Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Tony. And like I said, we couldn't have done this, better than having, someone, to come and give us everything that we need to know. Just to let you know that, we are streaming on multiple platforms, and I hope, by the end of tonight, we would also learn more about, your own particular member as a member of this particular union, and what does it mean all about? First and foremost, the name, I remember the last time we spoke, we talked about your name. Give us a bit of background, to that name for the benefit of all our listeners this evening on Star Radio UK.
Well, my personal name?
Yes, I mean in terms of the background to the name.
Okay. Yeah. All right. It's from my family, obviously. Yeah, my family at the Brahmo Igbo family in Lagos. That's Lagos Island, otherwise known as Okofaji, part of the Faji family dynasty. The name is actually from my granddad, who's actually known as Brahmo. But he was nicknamed Igbo because he was very, very hairy. He was nicknamed by the former king of Lagos, Oba Ishugbayi Eleko of Lagos. And then suddenly his name became Brahmo Igbo. So that's how he was known as. He was a very, very successful merchant, a very, very successful, a very, very good philanthropist. And he was the financial backer of the Oba of Lagos, Shigbayi Oba of Lagos, and also he went on exile with him when the Oba was exiled by the British Governor General at the time. That's a long story. So in honor to his name. He's got a couple of street named after him in Lagos. So it's a very, very big, prominent Lagos family. Anybody who is in Lagos Island would know the Brahmo Igbo family. So that's all I can say about that at the moment.
Wow, thank you so much, for taking us back, to this kind of a background. Let's crack on, Mr. Ibrahim. I'm just going to call you Mr. Ibrahim, and I say thank you so much, out of your very busy schedule, for giving us, the platform to host you again as we are preparing for that very massive event. I'm looking forward to that as well. Lagos State Union, UK, and Ireland. What is it all about, for, someone that is listening to us for the very first time and wanted to know, what is it all about? I mean, we know Lagos State, but what is the union all about that is now making it, 30 years anniversary that you're about to celebrate this evening?
Lagos State Union, arguably, it actually dates back beyond that, because it was the old Lagos students who formed part of the NNU, Nigerian National Student Union in the UK, the Lagos branch that actually came together. And these people have been together since actually the 60s, and they've formed themselves in different kind of organization from then on up until say 1990, when in 1992 a group of them actually got together to reinvent themselves, and then what they did is they created Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland in 1992, and they wrote the constitution. And this group of people that I mentioned are like really, really prominent people who have actually gone to Nigeria and achieved something for themselves. I can even mention the Jagaban. I can mention Honorable Bileyi, that was a commissioner in Ogun State, and also we had people like Erelu Ayorinde, who was the former mayor of Wandsworth, and so on and so forth. So it's an organization that is really developed, and it has had prominent Lagosians, Nigerians as part of its members in the past. It was recreated in 1992 in the name that it bears now, and one of the purposes of the union is really to foster the interest and ideals of Lagosians in the United Kingdom and Ireland. And we all know, I mean, you would not find any Lagosians that are not very, very proud of the history of Lagos. The history of Lagos is quite dynamic, and it rivals the history of most other cities around the world, because that's how old it is. If we look back to the apart from the other geopolitical zones, if you just concentrate on Eko alone, even if you have any doubt as to how far back that island existed, one thing you cannot dispute is the fact that the Igaidun Goro, which has been the home of the Oba of Lagos for over 400 years, was actually rebuilt, and I state rebuilt, by the Portuguese in 1600. So it gives you the kind of historic perspective of Lagos, of Eko, and also the entire Lagos state itself, as it was created in 1967. 1967. So Lagos is dynamic. The indigenes of Lagos are very, very proud of the state. I mean, if you think about London attracts so many people from around the world, and the reason why it does so is because it's so dynamic, and everybody wants to be part of that dynamism of London. The same thing Lagos represents for Nigerians and quite a lot of people from West Africa. People from all over Nigeria love to come to Lagos. A lot of them establish themselves in Lagos because of the way Lagos is so dynamic. It's very welcoming, it's very warm, it's got rich history, and it's very, very tolerant, unlike most other parts of Nigeria. So, and that's what the people, those that form Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland, that's what they have in mind, to celebrate this wonderful state, to celebrate the culture, to appreciate the dynamism, to appreciate the uniqueness of the state. So and members throughout the period, throughout the last 30 years, have come in and gone, and they've all had the same principle and the same ideal that the founders of Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland has, and the same thing with myself. Yeah, and what we try to do is that to do whatever we can for Lagosians in the UK and also Lagosians in Nigeria by providing, embarking a lot of charity works, helping the needies, providing foods, clothing and other materials for homeless, motherless children in homes across Lagos, and providing books, providing clothes. And here we do have sessions, or we've had sessions in the past where we provide legal advice to Lagosians. We provide financial advice. We provide medical advice. We've trained nurses and medical practitioners amongst our members. So we try to do as much as we can for Lagos indigenes in the United Kingdom.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim. If you've just joined us, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I have with me tonight, the president of the Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland. At the second segment of this program that is going to start about 7:05, we will be taking you through the next, conversation, which will be something I'm going to be discussing later on. 30 years is a very long time, being the president of this union. How long have you been the president? And looking at what the previous president have done, what more are you doing as the new president? From the time you took the baton from the previous president of this union.
Okay, I've been the president now since 2012, and. The past presidents, a couple of them have passed away, and some of them are still alive. They've done quite a lot for the union, and what I've done is I've taken on the baton, and where we are now is we're trying to really expand the union, the scope of the union. We're looking at other areas in the United Kingdom to form like chapters. Various Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland chapters, like in Manchester, in Liverpool, Newcastle, and Birmingham. So those are the things that we've embarked on in the past few years, and we've also increased and stepped up our charity work in Lagos. We've adopted a couple of homes in Lagos. We've called one known as Dewdrops, and also the other one is Cheshire Homes, which is in Iduro. We very proudly we provided them a lot of palliatives during the COVID, because we know that when things in a situation where there's a catastrophe or there's problems like global problems, it's always the poorest and the weakest that will suffer. So we were quickly able to identify the needs of this home, and we provided a sustainable help to them that helped them through, I'm sure, to a great extent during the COVID crisis in Nigeria. And we've also got involved in food banks here in the United Kingdom as well. And we hope to be able to do a lot more. We hope to be able to do a lot more for our members and the Nigerian community in the United Kingdom in general. Obviously, the kind of workshops and the medical advice and legal and financial that we provide is not really limited to restricted to just our members or Lagos indigenes. Any Nigerians that come, that approach us for our assistance, we will be glad, we'll be happy to help.
As an organization that have been set up here in UK and Ireland, and then this weekend you will be celebrating, the 30 years anniversary.
That would be next weekend,
next
on the
week. Sorry,
27th.
bear with me. So on the 27th.
Yeah.
If we look back, in terms of, the membership, in terms of, the relationship between, the members, and supporting, those back home, which so many different organizations have done in the past. What would you say is the biggest challenge, as an organization, trying to do your own little bit, because we have about 20 million, or thereabout people living and working in Lagos. Not literally means that, every single one of them are Lagosians. Yeah. And then when you look at, the situation in Lagos, just as we look at all the situation across, the Southwest, that is deprived of a lot of things, for, individuals. I know your focus point has been in Lagos, but what has been one of the biggest challenge, whether before you become the president or prior to being the president, since 2012, like you said?
The biggest challenge is when we trying to carry out our charity obligation is always the logistics in Lagos, because in Lagos nobody does anything for nothing, and we've had challenges with storage of materials that are sent to Lagos before they're distributed to the end users. We've had problems with reliable third parties in Lagos, and we try, because obviously the union is very, very old, so which means that we do have a lot of ex-members that are actually now back and residing in Lagos. So in order to bridge these difficulties, we try to employ their services on a voluntary basis, where they will be like the link between ourselves and our work in Lagos. It still has its challenges, because obviously these people do have other things that they're doing. Nigeria, Lagos is a really, really tough place to be. It's a really, really tough place to exist in, and it's very, very difficult to plan things and for it to go according to the way you want, because of all the difficulties in Lagos with the traffics and reliable service providers and stuff like that. But we try, we persevere, because there's nothing else we can do. The main purpose of our existence is to give back to Lagos, and the areas that we've identified that is need of our help is obviously people who are deprived, those who are defenseless, those who are like right at the bottom of the food chain, if you like. So we do have the challenges, like most organizations, because I do appreciate that there's quite a lot of organizations, Nigerian organizations in the UK, that are doing the same thing, and we just know one thing, that we've just got to continue. We can't be held back by difficulties or have our missions determined by the complications in Lagos. We just have to find a way around it.
Your relationship with the, because, for having, which I believe you are a charity organization, so at some point, you might have also relationship with different charity organizations here in UK, that probably might have interest, maybe in one of your cause, or one of what is happening in Lagos, or entirely looking at Nigeria as it is. What kind of relationship do you have, with other charity organization, and how do you collaborate? Because I think, one of the biggest challenge, for someone like me that have lived here and I've been able to monitor and follow different organizations and charities is, sometimes you might have a duplicate, or sometimes, the challenges that you talked about. Are you collaborating? Are you working with other organizations as well, within UK and outside the United Kingdom?
Okay. Within UK, what we tend to do is we tend to just provide funds for other charity organizations, like within the local authority, and like I mentioned earlier, the food bank. Without so much formal collaboration, it's just what we do is we just provide for their needs. And in terms of collaborating with any other organizations in Nigeria, obviously we've got to be very, very careful, because most of the time you don't know who you're trying to collaborate with in Nigeria. You don't know how authentic they are. And then one thing we've always been very, very careful about is that in terms of our charity work, it is a small scale. I mean, the organization is really based on social, economic advice, welfare of our members. The charity arms is something that we thought would be very, very good for us as an outreach, which we've been doing quite successfully within the capacity that we can. In fact, even at the moment, we're still waiting to actually get our charity registration, because we're on a very, very small scale, and you have to be at a certain level before you can actually get a charity registration. So we're working towards that, but it's slow. But as long as we're actually meeting the needs of those that we're committed to helping, I think we're happy. Eventually, we might go to the stage where we then start doing formal collaboration with other charity organizations. But at this stage, we're not there yet. Hopefully, we will get there someday.
Once again, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and we have with me, the 17th of August 2022, coming up just to 1826, the president of the Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland, as they are preparing for their 30 years anniversary celebration that will be taking place here in London. Before we really go into the celebration, Lagos, the Lagos that some 30 years ago, what has been the changes, because, I mean, the last time I was at home, I traveled last year and I had the privilege to go to Lagos. I don't know what you think of Lagos right now, but generally, from the perspective of a president of an organization that is also, linked to Lagos State, how do you look to Lagos of today, as compared to probably maybe 30 years, or if you want to go a little bit further back?
Well, undoubtedly, a lot of things have changed since the union was created. We're talking about 1992. Up until 1994, Lagos State was still, or was it 93? Lagos State was still the capital of Nigeria. So a lot of things have changed. But however, one thing that has always been constant is the draw factor that Lagos State have for people around Nigeria, all over Nigeria, and even West Africa. Lagos has always possessed that magic where it brings in people with different skills, different aspirations, different dreams to come to Lagos and achieve that dream. And it is a state now that is on a different level. Fine, there's a lot of things that could have been done. Lagos State could actually be rivaling some of the big major cities around the world, including those in the Western world, but unfortunately it is not. But that's not so much anything to do with Lagos. It's a lot to do with Nigeria as it is. With wasted resources and administrations that are not completely up to scratch. But despite all that, Lagos has become a really, really vibrant international city in its own way. Yes, it has its challenges. It has structural defects. It has a very, very poor maintenance culture. It has a high crime, which is things that are normally synonymous with a big, vibrant mega city. Like yourself, I go to Lagos quite a lot, and I always enjoy myself. The culture, the history, the dynamism, the welcoming, the warmth of Lagos people is still there, despite the hardships that they've faced in the last 30 years. I mean, Lagos is what it is. It's still a state that I would rather be than anywhere else in Nigeria. To me, it's still the capital of Nigeria. It might not be the official capital, but it's the cultural capital, it's the social capital, it's the economic capital, and it's a young society. It's a society of young people. It's a society where people actually go to fulfill their dreams. Unlike anywhere else in Nigeria, even Abuja does not even stand anywhere close to Lagos. Lagos is a unique state in Nigeria on its own, even probably West Africa. So it's come a long way in the last 30 years. A lot of things have evolved, and people, Lagosians, and both visitors and indigenous Lagosians are just adapting with it and going along with it as it develops, as it evolves.
Let's come back to to UK. Next weekend, it's going to be the celebration. It's going to be the engagement. I'm sure, people that are probably, because of the lockdown of the COVID, I'm not sure whether you were able to do anything in the last 2 years, just as any other organizations, because of the COVID that we had here in the United Kingdom. What are you expecting, as, the preparation is getting to the final stage, and like I said, it's a pleasure to have you once again, just as we previously have you right here on Star Radio UK. Next weekend in London, the celebration is going to go ahead. What are the expectations? What are we going to be looking up to? And I look forward, to that day myself.
I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Our guests should expect a lot of excitement. They should expect a lot of good things. It has been in the planning for over a year because we were very, very careful. We know it's a big event, and we've taken no chances. We started the planning, I think, around this time last year. We've put a lot of things in place. We obviously, there's going to be music, there's going to be artwork, there's going to be culture, and obviously what everybody expects in any Lagos functions is the Adamorisha masquerade, which is Eyo, known as Eyo. So that's going to be in full flow on the day. We are going to have a high table of extremely distinguished guests, representative of the Lagos State government and also representatives of the Nigeria High Commission in London. We're going to have so many distinguished guests from all walks of life, and the end result of what we are hoping to do, because obviously we want to raise as much fund to actually support our charity work, and we're hoping that at the end of this event we will be in a very, very strong position to fulfill some of our promises to our end users in Lagos and also here in London. But what our guests can expect is going to be a packed house. But there's going to be a lot of excitement, and from delicious food to good music and very, very enjoyable entertainment.
Once again, we still have with me, for the next 27 minutes, the president of the Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland. Membership of any organization, is one of the biggest drive, in any organization, whether a political organization or just charity organization. I know it's Lagos. Does that literally mean that the membership is only restricted to those that are born and bred in Lagos, or those that got married to a Lagosian? And likewise, how are you also bringing the next generation of the children along in line? We're talking about an organization that have lasted about 30 years, which is about 3 decades. Are you also engaging the children from the Lagosians that are living here? I'm talking about the parents of some of these members. So the question is, membership, is it restricted to just Lagosians, or anybody from other state, Osun State, Ekiti State, Kwara State? Can they be a member as well?
Well, no, because if the membership is extended to the Osun, Kwara, then it's no longer Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland. It's now a Nigerian organization. But however, we do exercise a great deal of flexibility. We've had people who were actually originally from other states, but they were born and bred in Lagos. They identify with Lagos. Any geopolitical zone in Lagos, Ekpe, Ikeja, Badagry, Lagos mainland, Korodu, anybody, and Eko, obviously the Lagos Island, anybody who feels in their heart that they have nowhere else. Their allegiance is nowhere else but Lagos. Are welcome in the Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland. We have had people of different states who were originally from different states and were born and bred, and they identify themselves as Lagosians. We have welcomed people like that into our organization. We like I said, we try to be as flexible as possible, and as you alluded to, membership is always the bane of most organizations in the United Kingdom. Even if you, especially Nigerian organization in the United Kingdom, even if you have about say 50 to 100 members on your list, you'll find out that only about 5% of those members had attend meetings or are really active. The only time you get all the members active or available is when you're having a party or an event that is going to be a lot more exciting than actually taking your time to go and sit down around the table and discuss plans on how to move your union forward or your organization forward. So it's a big challenge, and we are trying to meet that challenge with all the things that we're doing, and we're hoping that this event, just like the Lagos State at 50 that we did 5 years ago, we're hoping that will bring in new members, give the union a lot more exposure. And in terms of the youth, that's the ultimate aim, is to bring the youngsters into the organization. And I personally, I have 4 youngsters, and I'm hoping that as they grow older, they will start coming into the union, where we are trying to form a youth wing of the union, just like most of the organizations in the United Kingdom. We know that the youth are the future of any organizations that you form. So we're working out on that. We're really working out on our membership.
Okay. Well, thank you so much once again. I know it's a very, very busy day for you, as much as we wanted to take you through for more than the time allocated. But fáfà ni gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa láti ìgbà tá a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀, and again to our listeners, this is where our language, which is one of the most beautiful language, kicks in as well. Ẹ kò bá wa ṣe àlàyé díẹ̀ fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa tó ń gbọ́ wa nílé àtàwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa lóko pé ẹni tí à ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn ni alàgbà Tóyìn Ibrahim Igbo, àwọn ni president Lagos State Union and UK and Ireland. Wọ́n máa ṣe àjọyọ̀ wọn ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀, ìyẹn 27th of August nílùú London. Ẹ kò bá wa ṣe àlàyé ẹ ti ṣe lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì bàbá wa, ẹ bá wa ní ṣe díẹ̀ náà ní èdè ti abínibí wa.
Mo ti gbọ́. Ẹ kúrò lẹ́wọ̀, ẹ kálẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa lórí ètò gbohùngbohùn yìí. Èmi ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóòtú ṣe sọ, èmi ni ọ̀gbẹ́ni Tóyìn Ibrahim Igbo from Lagos Island. I'm the current president. Èmi ni president olórí ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n ń pè ní Lagos State Union UK and Ireland, àti wà ní sìn láti àádọ́ta ọdún kan ní àbí ọgbọ̀n ọdún 30 years àti pẹ́jù nílùú òyìnbó, ẹjọ́ ẹ dáríjì mi. So a fẹ́ ṣe ayẹyẹ kan ní
ara ìdí tí a ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ èdè Yorùbá náà nìyẹn.
Ní on the 27th of August ní Broadwater Farm, North London. A fẹ́ ṣe ayẹyẹ kan bẹ́ẹ̀, a fẹ́ máàkì anniversary wa. I open invitation fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó wà ní tí wọ́n lè gba àyè, tó lè gbára wọn láàyè láti wá bá wa ṣe àjọ̀dún náà. Olórin, ẹni tó máa fún wa lórin lọ́jọ́ yẹn ni Díyà Òjó. A ní àwọn olóúnjẹ tó máa provide oríṣiríṣi oúnjẹ tí a mọ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè wa. A rẹ̀ tún ní àwọn àlejò jankan-jankan tó máa wá láti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àti ti àwọn tí wọ́n wà ní high commission ní ìlú London ní ìlú òyìnbó tí wọ́n máa wá síbẹ̀ láti wá fi ìjókòó yẹ wá. So à ń pe gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó wà ní ìlú wípé kí wọ́n jọ kó wá fi ìjókòó yẹ wá ní ọjọ́ yẹn. So mo kí gbogbo yín nílé lóko, and ẹgbẹ́ wa dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ́ à ń wá àwọn tí wọ́n máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ Èkó nínú ọkàn wọn wípé ọmọ Èkó àwọn dẹ̀ fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ yìí. Inú wa dùn tí wọ́n bá lè kàn sí wa. Gbogbo details wa wà ní even lórí invitation wa, káàdì tí a fi tẹ invitation, so tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kàn sí ẹnìkankan nu wa. Ara àwọn tí ẹ máa ní láti kàn sí náà ni àwọn màmá presenter wa, Honorable Koiki, ìyẹn ní orúkọ Alájà Rẹ̀mí Koiki. Nọ́mbà wọn wà lórí invitation wa, so tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kàn sí wọn láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, inú wa dùn gan ni. Ẹ ṣeun.
Well, let's come back again to the conversation in just about 20 minutes. I'd like to appreciate my presenter, Mr. Frank and Mr. Archie, that are working tirelessly at 7:05. Don't go anywhere, because it's going to be much interesting when we have the next guest on. The next guest will be discussing, something that we started this morning, and that will be Mr. Yomi Kendi, and he's going to be giving us a little bit, to where we were discussing this morning, and the topic later on is going to be advantage of a Yoruba having an industrial economy. Mr. Ibrahim, looking at the economy of Lagos State, we've seen that Lagos State, generates, the large revenue, for the whole 36 state. Do you think, from the way, the allocation presently, do you think that Lagos State is having enough, with the 20 million in there, not enough coming through, but yet the internal generated revenue from Lagos State, from the statistics, is quite high compared to some other states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria today?
That's absolutely right, and I think not enough is really coming back to Lagos. Like you said, I one thing I appreciate from our previous governors, I don't have the figures here with me, but I have actually seen the figures, various figures, especially the VATs that Lagos charge that most other states do not charge, and then they want to share part of what Lagos generates. Lagos, one of the appeals of Lagos State is its dynamic economic system, and which a lot of Nigerians, most Nigerians, or the entire Nigeria is benefiting from, but the comeback to Lagos is very, very poor. And if you note, my heading, my topic heading is states that giving back to Lagos. Lagos have done so much for the rest of the country, and it's about time that Lagos is appreciated for what it does and what it provides, not just by word of mouth, but also by word of deeds. Lagos needs a lot of capital for capital investment, for development, for structural development. The capacity that Lagos has at the moment, what the facilities in Lagos at the moment does not, and is not capable of accommodating the population, the explosion that's in Lagos at the moment. It's just overstretched. The resources are overstretched, and it will be good. And I like to see it, and I know our governors, especially the current governor, His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is fighting very, very hard to keep some of the money that Lagos made in Lagos for all the things that we need those funds for. So it would be good if the federal government can cut Lagos a little bit of slack, and try and do as much as they can to aid the development of Lagos, because Lagos is at least 20 years behind on its infrastructural development to cope with the kind of population explosion that has actually occurred during that period. So that is my take on that. I know there's a lot more that can be said, that can be discussed on this, but as you know, we don't have much time at the moment.
Before we go, there's no way we won't know what kind of music can you relate back to as someone that was growing up in Lagos, before you eventually find your way to United Kingdom. I mean, there's quite a lot of powerful music, artists. I'm talking about the oldies. I'm not talking about the newer version of music that we are listening to now. If I ask you what and I hope next week we will be getting such kind of music as well, just to remind us what Lagos used to be. I mean, I spent a bit of time in Lagos after finishing my secondary school in 1995 in Abeokuta. I moved back to Lagos in phase 2. And the ambience, those before all say Lagos was where you could move around. I'm not sure whether it's as safe as it is, but that's a different conversation for another day. But talk about the music, the ambience, the highlight, of the Lagosians is about the music, the environment as well. What music will come up to you, if somebody asks you, this evening?
There's quite a few, and unashamedly, I can say I come from a socialite family. My family roots from Brahma Igbo to Tom Jones, Oshodi, Savage. So those are like the socialites of Lagos. And I do remember my grandmother's favorite music stems from Tunde Nightingale to Kayode Fashola. And Prince Adewale, obviously Ebenezer Obey and Sonny Ade as well. But my grandmother and my mother had a special liking for obviously Lagos indigenous music like Kayode Fashola and Tunde Nightingale. And I used to be quite intrigued by it as well. I mean, the generation gone. I had quite a great deal of admiration for them, and I still now, a lot of them have passed away, but I had a great deal of admiration and envy of the kind of lifestyle they lived in. As you said, Lagos was relatively safe at the time. I mean, these people, they lived life to the full. They enjoyed life to the full. They had very little to worry about. And they took on all the promises that a new nation back then, I'm talking about in the 70s, we know Nigeria gained its independence in the 1960s, but up until even the 70s, when I was a little boy and living in the Dosumu Street in Lagos, which was like almost the epicenter of Lagos at the time, my ancestors then they embraced the promise that a new Nigeria had was just about to usher in. They embraced it. They were dynamic. They had international perspectives as a Lagosian, and I envy the kind of lifestyle they lived then. Things are a lot different now. You can say there's good and bad in both times, and despite the fact that technology wasn't as dynamic as it is now, but they found a way to actually enjoy what they had, and they lived a contented life, and that's something that I look back on as a little boy, and I do envy. The kind of lifestyle they lived then. But in terms of music, yes, it is like Tunde Nightingale and Kayode Fashola, especially.
Well, and I think my engineer, I've got something for you. I'm sure you remember this.
When this track came out, I can tell you it came out in 1973. And wow. I was crazy about it.
And
absolutely crazy about it.
Owambe, Let's just enjoy it a little bit before we go tonight. So what was it that was, different in the kind of music? I remember, my grandma, Adenija Delay, had this small little stereo, and she had these cassettes, full of different volume. I think they used the volume upon volume upon volume, and and now it seems, as much as technology has brought in a lot of changes, but I think the kind of highlight that we had then, from what we were told, because I was not there as at the time, is quite different ambience from what we have right now. And I don't know what you want to say to that, Mr. Ibrahim.
I think life then was very, very calm. People lived a very, very calm life. People, they were more contented. Let's put it that way. They had no reason to fear. And they were not like out and out hustlers. It was a laid back time, and the people then were very laid back. And there was a lot of honesty and integrity back in those days as well. It's the name, the culture, the family was far more important to a lot of these people back then than it is now, and they appreciate every little thing that they had. Like you were saying, the tapes, the cassettes, and also the vinyl were like the in thing in terms of music in those days. But it's something that they cherish and they appreciate, and I don't know. I think they lived a lot more fulfilled life back then than we are now, because this day and age everything is rat race, and it's getting more severe and more intense as the generations go by. So that's the only thing I can say about that. They lived a contented life.
Wow. Before we go, Mr. Ibrahim, an opportunity, to probably maybe one or two people, from the members, as we're gearing up for next week, that you probably would like to say hello to, or probably maybe all the members generally, as the president of this very powerful union that have been, running for the last 30 years. And we pray and hope, as someone that have taken the battle, the baton rather, since 2012, and as long as you're going to be having it, we're wishing you the success of it. And we look forward to next week, Saturday, when the celebration is actually going to take place here in London. This is going to be your opportunity, to send those greetings out, as you also be wishing those, that probably would love to become the member of this powerful union, so that we can continue the good work that you're doing here in the UK and back in Lagos.
Thank you. I'd like to extend my appreciation to the founding members of the union. They left a very, very great legacy. They put in place something that I was very, very proud to become part of, and that said, and I also like to appreciate and greet all our current members that have been working really, really hard. Whenever we have meetings, they come out of their house in the snow, in the rain, in the freezing cold, in the heat, just to give something, because this union is not about what we can get for ourselves. It's about giving something to the community, and I really, really appreciate them and thank them very much. I wish them well, and also for any prospective members, please come and join us and be part of this great culture, be part of this great ideology. Come and help us, come and join us to actually help other people, because that's what it's all about, helping other people. And I look forward to seeing as many of you on the 27th, next week Saturday, to come and have fun and enjoy with us. Thank you.
that has been, the president of the Lagos State Union, UK and Ireland, Mr. Tony Ibrahim Igbo, and giving something back to Lagos. We look forward to seeing you next week, during the event as well. And I say thank you so much, for spending this evening with us on Star Radio UK. And I will definitely, be reaching out back again to you very soon. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Well, as my producer will be bringing Mr. Tony Ibrahim off. I would like to say thank you so much once again to everyone that have joined us, this particular evening on Star Radio UK, as we will now be getting ready for the second segment, of this program. But for now, I will be playing, music to kick us start when my next guest will be joining me. But for now, we wait as the engineer will take over, from the other side, with Star Radio UK. Once again, if you've joined us, I would like to appreciate you. You've been listening to myself and Mr. Tony Ibrahim Igbo, the president of the Lagos State Union, where we will now continue from where it stopped. One thing is, my next guest that is about to join me from the telephone line here in London, wanted to discuss with us something that will take us back to why the Yoruba nation definitely can be a powerhouse when it comes to the production, a country that can become as powerful as you can never think of. This is where the next guest will be coming in. My next guest is also the same name like myself, and what we're going to be discussing is going to be advantage of a Yoruba having an industrial economy. What does that literally mean? If somebody said to you an industrial economy, what does it literally mean? Let us hear from from someone that have, the knowledge. And I'll say once again, good evening to every one of you that have joined us. Ibi tó kàn sí nísìn, òun náà ni bàbá wa tó máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní ìlú òyìnbó níbí báyìí. Wọ́n máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí advantage of Yoruba having an industrial economy. And I have him right here with me. And I say a very good evening to you. I will call you Chief, if that is fine with you. If otherwise, I will just call you Big Daddy. I don't know which one you want me to call you, sir.
Big Daddy.
Okay, Big Daddy is fine. There's no problem in that. We will speak English, but also at some point, for the benefit of the audience that we want to communicate to, if it's okay with you, before 8:30, we have 1.5 hours. We do not take calls, so we will have ample of time to review and talk about all the issues, and people can listen to you back in the studio from all over the world that we're all connected to. Welcome once again to Naija Voices on Star Radio UK. And let's go into it. Advantage of Yoruba having an industrial economy. Let's break it down. What is it? What does that literally mean to a layman like me and most of the people that are listening to us this evening on Naija Voices?
To have an industrialized economy is to have the infrastructures to deal with developments. If you remember, you talk about the gross domestic product.
Yes.
That includes the production of goods and services as a nation.
Okay.
If a nation is there and it hasn't got any goods that is produced or any services that is not able to bring forth income, then it's not a state of a country. Best way to have a state of a good economy is to have gross domestic product, which means you have to have plants and machinery. If you have a state without plants and machinery, they have to ask, why can't you manufacture plants and machineries to produce? To produce things like, say, Coca-Cola, you have to have the plant to produce it, the Nigerian breweries, all the machineries to produce those things, or if it is toilet roll that you're preparing, you have to have machines which will propel the economy to produce it.
Okay.
And in any way, plants and machinery is necessary used for development. To return about these plants and machinery, you produce the cocoa. So in the olden days, we are producing vehicles, we are producing things like cars. If you remember, there is an assembly point in Lagos, and there is Intramotors at Ijora.
Okay.
Those are plans that were given to our economy, where we have cars production, or sometimes car assembly point.
Okay.
And at the end of it, they have, everyone has got access to loans where you are working from, and one year alone, whatever motor, whatever, so padà díẹ̀.
Ṣé pé intent sọ fún wa tí bá gbọ́ yín dáadáa ni pé a ti ní rí pé nígbà kan ní Nàìjíríà péyàn ara mọ́tò wa máa san díẹ̀díẹ̀, èmi ò gbọ́ rí.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Wọ́n.
Okay.
So even there is always, when you buy that car, they will give you or liaise with you with an insurance company.
Okay.
Then it was called New India Insurance Company.
Okay.
And then later become Prestige Insurance Company. And we have insure our cars.
Okay.
So you have car insurance. If you have accident, you have a theft, or the car is disabled or is not worthy, you will be able to claim on your insurance. So, in other words, when you have factories to manufacture things, the Yoruba state will develop. Kò lè sọ pé any state there ní máa pè ní ìṣèkọ̀kọ̀. Gbogbo kìíní yìí ló wà necessary, and it is very important that they have all these things. Ìgbà kan lọ máa ní bicycle nígbà táwọn ọ̀rẹ́ kékeré. I'm talking about early late 50s, between 758, 59, 60. Àwọn ará ti bicycle nílùú wa. A fi máa ń ṣeré gbà yẹn. Àwọn ará ìtẹ̀ kúkọ̀ ìlànà ará ìtẹ̀ nígbà yẹn. So àdẹ̀sánwó fún ẹni tí ó ṣe, tí a bá tẹ̀ ṣubú, a tó help wa. So sáà tí tó jẹ́ pé a ní Nigeria, there are a lot of things that we call mechanization of things, which means that you can use electronics. In computer, they use it as a card, computer aided design. Ó yẹ ká náà ti máa ṣe kọ̀ǹpútà ní Nàìjíríà bí àwọn Silicon Valley ní Amẹ́ríkà. But ìgbà tí àwọn tó wà níjọba wọn ò ṣe kankan tó dáa, this is why it is going down.
Okay.
And I remember vividly that our mechanized diggers wà. Wọ́n fi ṣe ọ̀nà.
Okay.
Our escalators wà. It's not the escalator tí wọ́n fi nínú yẹn. Escalator to excavate the floor, the wood, the roads. Don't have the chain on. Don't make sure we honor. It's very drilled. That our machinery cannot man. In other words, if a nation is established, they have to have manufacturing tools. In accountancy, they call it plants and machinery, which you use to propel your economy. And then the three factors of production are money, personnel, and computer. You cannot do this without using all this machinery.
About our repeat àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ sọ nísìn that Big Daddy because it's very very important because intense ṣàlàyé fún wa lálẹ́ is one of the key points fún àwọn tí wọ́n sọ pé tí Yorùbá nation bá wáyé nìkan tí ó lè fún wa ní opportunity to become a strong country of our own. Ẹ bá mi sọ those three factors again.
The three factors of production machinery, instrument to make produce. And you go lọ sínú oko sí àtàkì yẹn oko wàá fi kéde oko or personnel capital personnel àwọn òṣìṣẹ́.
Okay.
That is the human resources we have, and Yoruba nation generally indeed are very prepared for using the human resources to achieve our aims. Then money, you cannot do anything without money. So you use your money to invest in machinery, then you use the machinery to produce, and you make profit, and you plow the profit back into reinvestment and reinvestment into production, then you will be profitable. And these are the things tó jẹ́ pé Yorùbá nation ó máa ní àǹfààní láti jẹ. Àwọn tó ń sọ pé kò ní sí jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n lọ jókòó dákẹ́ o. Iṣẹ́ máa pọ̀ fún gbogbo yín, gbogbo professions jẹ́ ní calling from accountancy, banking, insurance, engineers, advertising. Nígbà tá a wà kékeré ní opposite CMS bookshop ní Broad Street ní ẹgbẹ́ Marina ń bẹ̀ yẹn, Ogilvy Benson wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn, Amenta, Ogilvy Benson Amenta. Tó jẹ́ pé advertising làwọn ṣe. Advertising yẹn mean pé you sterilize your product on television and sterilize your newspaper, and then you make videos of it, audios of it, pictorial, which is any design tẹ́ bá ṣe gbé sílẹ̀ fún wọn, wọ́n máa wò dáadáa. So iṣẹ́ wà fún everybody, any discipline tí ẹ bá ní, tí ẹ bá wà in your education, you will be able to get jobs. Kì í ṣe bí ó ṣe wà á sì ọ̀pẹ àbákọ̀ọ́ tó máa ṣe gbogbo Yorùbá nation lọ sí. Wọ́n ti create website tó jẹ́ pé bí job center bí ìdí. You see the advert on the job center, you go there without knowing anybody. You go in, they see your credentials, how you are, and you are very qualified to do the job. Our friendship, everybody will be able to work. So, kò ní sí pé ẹ̀kankan ò ní ríṣẹ́. Anybody tó bá tọ̀ yín, ẹ̀ ń tọra yín ni.
So kí ni fear àwọn èèyàn, because this morning we were discussing the Finland, a 6 million population, and I think what actually brought this conversation back again was you were listening to that program, and then you were looking at the GDP. I'm actually looking at what Finland exports as a country that is giving them that figure of the 271 billion US dollars. Finland export sectors are transportation, electronics, forestry, machinery, and chemicals. Trade policy is managed by the European Union, where trade depend. Finland has traditionally been an advocate for free trade policies. Fún ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n wà concerned pé tá bá lọ dá dúró, eba mute background there. I think there's another feed coming through. Pé tí a bá lọ dá dúró, bígbà tí a fẹ́ lọ kóra wa sínú oko ìparun ni, nítorí pé inú Nàìjíríà gangan ló yẹ kí gbogbo àjọ wà, kájọ dáwọ́ bo Nàìjíríà, ká make Nàìjíríà kó ṣiṣẹ́, kó work fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá, kó work fúnlẹ̀ Igbo, kó dẹ̀ work fúnlẹ̀ Hausa, as against having a country of our own where we can have a strong economy ties, and then that economy will help the citizen by going to any countries around the world, just as the Finland citizen are the most traveled in this world that we have today.
That is a good yes. If you don't produce anything in a country, you don't earn foreign money. But when you produce, you sell. There is what we call internal market, home market. And there is what we call export. Now, everybody to buy the when you go to London Chambers of Commerce and Industry, they have a board where you can go there and see what they produce in the country, what you want to buy as machinery, and take it to Yoruba land. There are lots of them, and what you want to have is your money, the personnel to run it, and then you have the land. We call it land. To my Awolowo sọ pé tí òun bá fẹ́ ṣe proper education, ilẹ̀ wà tá a máa kọ́lé sí fáwọn lecturer tó máa wá láti wá fún wa ní knowledge tá a fẹ́, and we will get that. But tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ti ní wisdom, tẹ́ ẹ̀ ní vision for tomorrow, ẹ lè mọ nǹkan tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ. Tí I will use one or two examples. Ẹ wo rubber plantation tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ pè. He was in the 50s thinking of 100, 200 years ahead. Bí àwọn Michelin ní France, bí Dunlop tires, wọ́n ṣe. They export it all over the world. Tálẹ̀ ò ní ra mọ́tò tó ò ní táyà. You will buy, it is all accessory to cars. You cannot have this car or vehicle or machinery we have without the propelling instrument to use it. So export now to bá ti ṣe, for example, ó jẹ́ pé a use ìbéèrè wa, ó yẹ ká ti máa produce telephone bí ti Japan, Samsung, Sony, gbogbo àwọn machines tó jẹ́ pé à ń lò. I import àwọn videos láyé àtijọ́ wọ́n pè ní video báyìí lẹ́jẹ̀ ń pe old videos yóò ní cassette ńlá yẹn yóò ní cassette ńlá kì í sì ṣe disc. A máa lè rí video produce ẹ̀ wọ́n á máa rà á. We have vitamins then we have tropicalized machines nígbà yẹn, even television, video, everything wọ́n ṣe. But tí ìlú bá wà tó ìlú bá ti ní manufacturing base, oúnjẹ gba nìyẹn o, kò sí kankan tó lè yí máa ṣe. And then going like saying farming again. Ẹ bá wo mechanized farming wà tó jẹ́ pé ẹ máa ra machine tó máa kọ́ bá yín roko, machine tó máa bá yín tìlì ẹ̀. Àwọn machine kan wà tó jẹ́ pé ẹ kó kíní yẹn sínú ẹ̀, á máa bá yín gbé. In the olden days, we say a ridge must be fat, long and cogent. Ẹyin kúlẹ̀ school la máa ń ní sígbà yẹn. But kò sí ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ń sè é. Wọ́n ní a life in the village is better than life in town. Discuss. Inú wa máa ń dùn tá a máa ń discuss ẹ̀ nígbà yẹn. Because tó o bá sí àgbẹ̀, o lè lo oúnjẹ down. Everybody who want to have a farm and do things and then a tún máa wá ní àjẹsẹ́kù. À ní ìta máa gba jẹ, àwa ta ìta máa tà. Anybody tó bá jẹ́jẹ̀ wá mọ nǹkan tó ń pè ní shed ní abúlé. Akata là ń pè shed yẹn. Tá a bá ti ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti kó, à á kó lọ sí àjà akata. In a house in the modern time it's called loft, but in the village it's called akata. Akata means the shed that we use. À kó sókè ńbẹ̀ yẹn, à á preserve for tomorrow. Àti àwọn ìta tó máa ń gbìn, àwọn ìyá wà ńbẹ̀. Those are the things tó jẹ́ pé ó wà. Ní ayé àtijọ́ ẹ máa gbọ́ pé àwọn kan jẹ́ àjànàkú. Ẹ máa gbọ́ pé àwọn kan jẹ́ ọlọ́wẹ̀. Ẹ máa gbọ́ pé àwọn kan jẹ́ orúkọ yẹn ti jábà mi lórí sí. Àwọn yẹn wọ́n ń gbé iṣu lákùrẹ́, lóńdó, ní Èkìtì. àwọn tó bá ti gbé iṣu yẹn ó máa ń hù dáadáa. Àwọn tó bá mọ̀ ń pa iṣu fúlà yam táwọn gbẹ́ra ní pẹ̀lú iṣu tiwa tó yẹ pé wọ́n á gbé wọ́n á ṣe òun ni wọ́n fi kọ́ cocoa house àti cocoa tán àti obì gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa ń kó wá síbí lẹ́yìn tó ń bọ̀ láti wọ́n ti the agent general of Western Nigeria there. So gbogbo kíyẹn ti máa ń tà even promotional ẹgbẹ́ wa sọ pé àwọn agégi gẹ̀dú we have all those things there. Tó bá ti gbé wọ́n á mọ bó ti máa stream ẹ̀ wọ́n á wá kó àwọn ọkọ̀ tó máa lọ kó wọn wọ́n á kó lọ sí dẹ́pò wọ́n á kó síbẹ̀ wọ́n á gba àwọn tó wà ní sawmill wọ́n á fi ṣe there is sawmills everywhere there. Kì í ṣe é sì tó sí sawmill títí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé àwọn máa import ẹ̀ láti àkíyà college ní àkíyà táwọn máa import ẹ̀ àwọn kan dẹ̀ ló gbìn yẹn ní Europe tó ń kó wọ́n títí táwọn á wò but it's wood that in Africa which is tropical region woods can grow and you grow woods and then you plant trees in 50 years time ẹ máa lò so gbogbo àwọn yẹn is part of the advantage of our Yoruba land. I will tell you the easy story in 1962 we went to Ibadan. Nígbà tí wọ́n débẹ̀ kí ẹ ní àwọn fruits àpò agbolombi wọ́n kún fún wa cans tí wọ́n fi ọ̀pọ̀ òyìnbó sí tí wọ́n fi pọ́pọ̀ sí tí wọ́n tún fi little àtàwọn vegetables and cashew nuts wọ́n kún fún wa tá a kó lọ́lé and that was by Lafia Canning Industry nìbàdàn. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn is come from Ìjẹ̀bú-Gbó ni wọ́n ti gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ gbà yẹn. Wọ́n á harvest ẹ̀ wọ́n á wá sí center nìbàdàn wọ́n á wá fi ṣe ẹni tó bá dín kòkó irú dáàdì mi sìn pẹ̀lú àwọn grandmom mi grandma tájọ wà nígbà yẹn tá à ń bá wọn lọ sóko we call ibi tá à ń ṣe kòkó sí is a pyramid. Ẹ lọ ṣe cooperative àárò là ń pè àwọn gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà tó ti wà ní abúlé wọ́n á bá yín lọ ká kòkó yín wọ́n á bá yín ká oko yín wọ́n á bá yín ṣá oko wọ́n á bá yín gbé and you go there and till it. Bí Dr. Aborode ṣe lọ tó ń train ní Owólabí of recent. Tí yẹn kú kan. Even I wanted to spend about 750,000 lókù dáàdì mi. Wọ́n ní wọ́n ti kú màálù lọ́bẹ̀. Wọ́n ò jẹ́ ń lọ́bẹ̀. Ṣé màá lọ sóko yẹn tẹ̀dọ́kọ̀ pé harvest ń bọ̀ kí tẹ̀dílé kan ní wọ́n kó màálù? Àní kí n tún parọ́ kan nígbà tí wọ́n kó màálù wá da inú oko wa. Wọ́n kó wọn lọ. Wọ́n ní ó dín méjì o. Wọ́n tún padà wá lálẹ́. Wọ́n ní tí àbá wá màálù méjì wa a máa pa gbogbo yín ni. Wọ́n wá ní ẹ má wọ́ọ̀rì. Ẹ wá bí láàárọ̀ ọ̀la ní 7 and 8. À lọ sínú ibi tẹ́ ẹ ní wọn lọ. Wọ́n dé inú igbó orò. Igbó tì la máa ń pè. Wọ́n bá màálù méjì bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ń jẹun. Because they are comfortable eating. So wọn ò ní hurry láti lọ dé. Green grass everything was there for them. Ìgbà yẹn la bọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn o.
So tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ go ahead sir ẹ go ahead big daddy.
Yeah. So gbogbo these are the things tó jẹ́ pé advantage gbogbo Yorùbá nation nìyẹn. Farming small scale àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ husband and a wife or family medium scale ìwọ tí ẹni ṣe ẹfẹ́ fi lọ ṣe mechanized one you have a small scale medium scale large scale àwọn industrialized system tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n á ní a big farm cultivate it plant and harvest ẹ̀gẹ́ which is gàrí ńgbà tí àwọn àwọn kékeré tó ń bá ti ṣe àbá ti kó wá sí ẹ̀wù là ń pè ńgbà yẹn which is village abẹ́ wọ́n á gbé sínú apẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n á gbé òkúta lé ìṣẹ́tì pẹ̀lú kòkó wọ́n á gbé òkúta lé fún àbọ̀rí ìwé the old water and starch will ferment wọ́n á lè rí pé sínú àpò ìgbókù wọ́n máa ń kó nǹkan sí tó máa lọ sí ibi tó ti bá dé àwọn tó jẹ́ pé tó jẹ́ Yorùbá dáadáa tó ń lọ tó wọ́n á mọ̀ pé àwọn kan wà tó ń pè ní bàṣíà àti tó fi ń fry gàrí a máa dáná sábẹ́ ẹ̀ a máa igi ni ó máa fi dáná yẹn o wọ́n á dẹ̀ gbé sínú bóòlù tó máa fi ṣe gàrí yẹn wọ́n á dí gàrí á wá ṣe é then I will make a mention of good mechanized system ní Ìbàdàn tó ní gàrí manufacturing industry company kan ní Ìbàdàn anybody tó bá ní gàrí wọ́n á ní kẹ́ kó wá síbi
kẹ́ máa ń ló ń pè ní ìlú làjì something of sort. I think I watched a video to that. Before we go further, Bibi Ade, ẹ má bínú pé mo cut yín a little bit. What I want to find out is, ǹjẹ́ àwọn services míì wà yàtọ̀ sí àwọn tẹ́tẹ̀ ń sọ because as much as a lot of people money here but àtẹ̀ tí mo pé farming wà, what other services can generate revenue, both internally and we can also use it as an export?
Very good. Now, when you say G, gross domestic product, you have goods and services. Goods is to manufacture things and sell it. Then there are services. Services means a system which is invisible. It's not visible. You cannot see. You can't see insurance. Can you see insurance services?
No. And there's no way you can drive a vehicle in Europe without an insurance.
Yeah. If you have an insurance, there is fire insurance, there is property insurance, and car insurance, and employers insurance, employer insurance, and then you have liability insurance. Tí o bá ní ibì kan tó ti ń ṣe kankan, tó ti ń manufacture kan, tí iná bá dé, àwọn àgbègbè tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ á yí your neighbors. Tí iná yẹn tó bá nǹkan jẹ́ àbí you do we call it excavation. Wọ́n kọ́lé lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan, wọ́n jẹ mechanical digger sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ògiri ilé ẹ̀ have what called subsidence. And that subsidence makes the house to collapse. You have to have a liability insurance for that. So banking is another invisible services, advertising, even news, radio, and rediffusion. Western Nigeria Broadcasting Service only rediffusion. Rediffusion yẹn pé wọ́n á so rédíò tẹ̀yìn ń gbọ́ nínú káà yẹn tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ nínú orí fóònù yẹn wọ́n á fa wáyà wá sí gbogbo ìlú. Wáyà yẹn dàbí wáyà electric pole ṣe ló máa rí lókè ilé tó máa ṣe irin ilẹ̀ tó máa yí gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ̀ ẹ̀ máa gbá rediffusion. Èyí ni ìròyìn tó dé sí ètí pẹ́ láti ní Ìbàdàn. Wọ́n bẹ̀ sí sọ sórí ìtàn tó délé mi. Equally, newspaper is part of services. Ẹ mọ̀ pé newspaper tá à ń tà ní England níbí ní London. Ṣé mọ̀ pé wọ́n kó lọ sí America? Wọ́n kó lọ sí Australia, wọ́n kó lọ sí Far East. These are part of services. Ṣé a ní TV services? Ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn kan máa ń ta tá a bá ṣe fíìmù sí ń bí wọ́n máa ń ra fíìmù wa ta máa kó lọ sí irú òye tí wọ́n sọ pé Sydney Portier is part of the system tó wọ́n fa iṣẹ́ àti system yẹn lọ. Then there is what you call radio Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, digital station, internet, you will be in your office and you will be communicating. In other words, in your phone, they call it email. What's your email? Those are invisible traits. It's not physical, you cannot see it because they don't manufacture it.
But these are services that are generating, billions of dollars.
It generates billions of money. And having said that, there is another one which is glaring: tourism. Tourism is an industry on itself. How do you prepare an industry? You see Ibadan, Abeokuta, Ekiti, gbogbo àwọn tó sọ pé omi kan ó ń gbóná láàárọ̀ ó tutù nírọ̀lẹ́. There's a landscape tómi wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tí gbogbo everybody tó máa lọ ṣeré lábẹ́ this and that. You will be able to build restaurants, hotels. You will be able to build landscape at the segmentation of the people tó máa ń wá síbẹ̀. What is the meaning of segment? Sectors upon sector. Irú èmi ń sìn old pensioner, middle age man, our young professionals, kids, little baby. These are segments. Tó jẹ́ pé ẹ máa gbọ́mọ yín ẹ lọ síbẹ̀, wọ́n á tún ṣe nursery síbẹ̀, wọ́n á ṣe library síbẹ̀, wọ́n á ṣe cinema síbẹ̀. Sightseeing lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ landscape tó dáa, lábẹ́ Olúmọ, lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Fáṣọlá, àbí lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ẹ̀rọ́tì ìlú Ògúndé. Those are tourism. And we have a good landscape. We have rivers, we have oceans, we have lagoon. Láti Apapa Road, ìkékeré àwọn máa rìn láti Apapa Road. Àárẹ̀gbá Ìgànmú, Adé Ìjọra, gbogbo ẹ̀ 2 lanes nígbà yẹn o, 1964, 63-64, 2 lanes. Èyí tẹ́ rí láti Nigeria British ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ Ìgànmú bẹ̀ yẹn, 2 lanes níbẹ̀ yẹn títí dé Màálù Road. Màálù Road, you touch Ajégúnlẹ̀, you go to Ajégúnlẹ̀, you go to Boundary Road on the right. You go left, you go to Koiki. Then if you go straight, you pass through Park Lane of Shipment, Baba Olayomi. Then you go to the Port Authority. When you get to the Port Authority, lagoon is there. Ricket máa ń wá láti Apapa, láti Marina. A máa ń wọ̀ wá bẹ̀ yẹn. Àbọ̀lẹ̀ ní port. Ẹjọ́ fẹ́ lọ sí Kick Road. Kick Road jẹ́ ìrírí yẹn. Láti bẹ̀ yẹn dé òkè lọ́hùn níbi tí Dunlop wà. Níbi Dunlop tí wà lókè lọ́hùn. It's all creeks. Wọ́n fìlì gbogbo bẹ̀ yẹn ni kí wọ́n fi ṣe industry síbẹ̀. Opposite National Shipping Line, Nigeria NSS. Then there was electrical shops opposite, electrical companies. That my applaud yìí, that gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ lò fúnlé yìí, ó wà ń bẹ̀. Then you go and see there the Major and Co company wà. Ibẹ̀ ni Johnson and Johnson wà. And títí tó fi dé Dunlop lókè lọ́hùn. Then there is what you call polypeg, ibi tó fi ṣe pen, and then candles lókè lọ́hùn. Those are part of the industry tó jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́.
So
and those place ó yẹ kó ti develop more than that. Kó dàbí pé ẹ wù bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ṣé eléyìí is part of the Yoruba land. Sọ tí omi yẹ o.
I was fortunate to. Big Daddy. I was fortunate to travel to Ibogun, where that could have been the paper mill. My question to you, sir, is that we have a lot of Yorubas that don't up it's just not going to be possible. As much as we want to say we can derive a lot of GDP from services. You've talked about insurance. You've talked about tourism. You've talked about, machinery, banking. You've talked about even the human resources. Most of our youth today, I've just picked up a comment, and I want to read this out. This have just come up on Twitter, and this is coming from, I think, it says, and I quote, P square. I'm sure P square. And this is what he actually said on Twitter some 2 hours ago. A graduate with no job, you managed to buy a smartphone, come on the social media and start defending people that made you jobless.
You went to university. Why do you go to university? To learn, to have a discipline. I have 3 disciplines: accountants, insurance, and marketing, and above all, business studies. Now, you are a graduate or a phone of social media. There are a lot of jobs around. If you are not a chief accountant, you can be a management accountant. If you are not a management accountant, you can be a cost accountant. If you are not that, you will be a bookkeeper that is keeping the books. So, you'll be an auditor, auditing. These are professions. Inside all this are lawyers coming in, ITs coming in, business management gurus are coming in, i.e. those who have MBA in management. Then there is one thing people don't understand. I can give you look at yourself and say, can you give me, I am sending you out as a researcher. Can you do a feasibility report to me on the feasibility of using digital system for your product? That's it, or you see. You can view how many people are listening to me.
Yes.
Yes, that is the counter on the computer system. Enemy only 1,000. Equally, enemy only 10,000. Enemy only 1 million. Simultaneously working. How can you graduate? You are graduating in Oxford or in Essex or in Liverpool, and your mates in Canada, your mates in Japan, your mates in Russia, your mates in Europe, Germany, France, everywhere, UK, USA, they are watching you. Even in South America and the Caribbeans, and they can tell you, oh, this is the volume of what you are saying. Exactly as I'm speaking now, you can find, oh, it's 10,000 listening or 1 million listening throughout the whole world, and it is simultaneous. These are the power of the phone that you are having, but it's not for social event only. It's for you to be able to use it as a trade and use it to earn money. And that is the handset to go so. It's not for social. I want to know you are going there with your money, you spend money for transportation, you go there, you still contribute the money. First this is special, another special one, another special Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving. And you go back into the shell where you left without anything in your hand. If you buy, you are not productive. You have to be productive.
So what actually is it? Yes. Koiki o. Ẹ̀túnmọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́.
A máa jalè. Ìwé kíkọ́.
Láìsí ọgbọ́n àti àdá. Koiki o. Iṣẹ́ ẹ̀gbẹ́.
Iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa.
Ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Mumba Daddy, Big Daddy. Once again, you've been listening to, my Big Daddy that have been taking us through a conversation regarding, the advantage of a Yoruba having an industrial economy. We've been talking in our language, but I'm going to be giving a bit of background, and I'm sure those of you that are not from, Yoruba land might have got lost in the conversation. But what we've been discussing is, how powerful, a Yoruba economy could become stronger, in terms of, three factors that he talked about, the three factors of production: machinery, personnel, human resources, and money. Big Daddy. We now have a lot of youth that are campaigning, to get their PVC, and I don't know who they're going to want to chase out, in terms of the PVC, but everybody seems to be excited to just get the PVC, and whether the one person wants to chase PDP out or get APC out or bring Labour Party or chase three of them out. What is your take about, our youth that still want to participate in an election? And as you have seen it all, you're an elderly man, you've seen it all. You've seen how Nigeria was and what it should have been and what never happened, in the last, 60 years. My last guest, is the Lagosian. I did ask him, looking at Lagos of today, comparing it to back then, he also said the same thing. What are you going to tell the youth that are running after PVC as we speak today?
Thank you very much, Ola. You are not working. You have no job. You are over 30. You left university 5 years ago. You are not doing anything. Those people you are clamoring to go and work for, they don't have time for you. All they want to do is to give you you know what you call pittance. Crumbs on the what is of me try and you are able to understand what we are saying. 1914 amalgamation is a false system. Amalgamating of southern and northern Nigeria together is a fraudulent means. Iruwa, Ogiwa, those who are not compatible, we don't listen to, we can't hear each other, we can't speak the same language, we don't eat the same food, we don't wear the same, we have different cultures, we have everything. They lump you together. See, if you are somebody only wisdom, you have a net. You put the net inside a river or a water or a lagoon. That net caught snake, caught fish, caught crabs, caught fish, caught small fish, big fishes. What do you think will come out of that when you put them in one cage? There will be no harmony, there is no friendship, there is nothing that put them together. But for the British sake, they love you together for their own investment benefit. Royal Niger Company, North Ita Nigeria today, don't pay 850,000 by year. It's $1 million, and that's what we are looking at today. Having said that, independence came. Those who fought for independence, they were not participating in an Independence Day. Those who moved the motion, those who fought for independence, then Sadauna, then Tafawa Balewa, they were saying they don't want one Nigeria together. Awolowo said is a geographical expression. You know what is called a geographical expression? An area which there is light and tree and lake and hills and downs and everything play. They put them together and say this is Nigeria. It's not Nigeria. It's Nika area, slave area. That's the meaning. If you don't know, that is the meaning. Then they do that. There come 1960. Only 1960, we have a constitution which says self-government. North, East, and West. They have their own independent territory. They rule themselves. They were able to develop. They develop infrastructure. They do everything. And you see, many people don't know what Papa Awolowo did. He's a rare risk. That man is a rare risk, a rare bird that you can never find anywhere. That is why they call him a sage. A sage is somebody who has knowledge, experience, wisdom, and vision. Then you are doing 1950s. Those of them can be Okoroba. In 15 years now, the Bible produce tire and sell to the whole of Africa. And Europe, the whole of Africa, but do they allow him? And this is the problem. The best guy were never allowed to rule. And having said that, that one went, 1979 came, or 1999. What's a constitution? Having done conference, national conference, to get all the system that will be allowed to have a good government. They put them in place. Buhari came there and threw it in vain. Because I won't walk away. To walk away, I'm really away. I want to ask you one last time. How can you have a child in school, a son, daughter in school, for 6 months to go to school? Just to have a land, a fund that may tell her, and they went and sit down with the federal government. They come out with a template. They agree there. What is the meaning of agreement? You talk to me, I talk to you. You say offer and accept. That's acceptance. And then you come back and say sorry. Lowo tebe so. Gbogbo owó tẹja. Tẹji. Gbogbo EFCC ti ẹ ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ owó. You cannot account for recovered loot, recovered stolen money. Àní mo tẹ ẹ̀gbọ́n gbà kan tó sọ pé Central Bank l'Èkó wọ́n fi 30 billion wọ́n fi ṣe underground car park. Ṣé plane lẹ́ ń pààkì síbẹ̀ ni? So these are the things tí ó jẹ́ pé kò yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe tí wọ́n lọ máa gba PVC. Àwọn tó fẹ́ràn yín tí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ yín dẹrú. Wọ́n pààyàn ń bí wọ́n pààyàn lọ́hùn-ún. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe gbogbo rọ́bìṣì ṣe yí Fúlàní ṣe. Tinubu ṣe kankan wọn ní kẹ́yìn lọ gba PVC. Ẹ̀yin jókòó. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ gba PVC. Peter Obi wọ́n fẹ́ fìyẹn pàṣẹ èdè àwọn Biafra àwọn IPOB pé wọ́n kú ti gbé ìkànnì wọn lọ́wọ́ kọ́ máa sìn yẹn. Àwọn ti bí dẹ̀rẹ́ Northern Campus Mafia Kabal àwọn yẹn níwọ̀n ọ̀chẹ̀ election. You can imagine what they are giving you. They are telling you pockets lies. You know they bid it wrong. And it is better in Nigeria kó pín sí kí ìsì lọ kí náà ti lọ kí wẹ̀sì lọ. And then there is something today again. Wọ́n ní àwọn arẹwà ti jáde lẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́ni pé àwọn náà fẹ́ lọ. You must have heard about that.
Yeah, the news is still filtering through.
Àwọn arẹwà lẹ́yìn ni wọ́n ṣe rally ní north pé àwọn fẹ́ lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní Buhari ò lọ sí UN 77 assembly. Torí wọ́n ní tó bá ń bọ̀ wọ́n àti jẹ́ pé àwọn Yorùbá nìkan ló ń pa Western Nigeria ṣá ni wọ́n ń lọ. Gbogbo from Lagos to Abẹ́òkúta to Ìbàdàn to Ọ̀yọ́ to Èkìtì, Oǹdó, Ọ̀ṣun, even up to the south, IE Delta ni wọ́n ń pààyàn ń bẹ̀ tán. Why? Tó jẹ́ pé ibẹ̀ yẹn nìkan lẹ concentrate and even again Southern Kaduna torí pé àwọn Christians tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní kó mú gbogbo details atrocity tí wọ́n kọ̀ kẹ́ tó máa pa wọ́n yẹn kẹ́ máa kó bọ̀ ní UN. Otherwise, don't bother to come to the UN assembly. So òun sọ pé òun sì kì í sè. Ó ti pe doctor ẹ̀ tó wà ní London, ó ti ní kó máa bọ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ó ti lọ sábùjá yẹn ti jíjí ẹ̀. Ó lóun sick for the last 1 week. Kò lọ méjì kankan. Ṣé ẹ̀ bá gbọ́ gbogbo yẹn láti Nàìjà? Check on your system and check pé Arẹwà sọ pé àwọn náà ń lọ. Buhari has brought his doctors from England into Abuja to come and treat him. He has not been seen for a week now. And then other causes wọ́n lọ lẹ́gbẹ̀gbẹ́. And all these are the things tó jẹ́ pé wà ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní tí ò bá ti wá omi ìpè Nàìjíríà ti fọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí wọ́n bọ̀ ẹ̀ tó sọ pé láti àtọ́ lọ síbẹ̀ òun pé ní New York òun pé Buhari ní terrorist is the leader of 3 Miyetti Al-Qaeda àbí Boko Haram and all the machinery. Lẹ́yìn nìyẹn tẹ́ndì lórí fídíò. And ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ṣe jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ vote. Ṣé Tinubu lẹ fẹ́ vote? Tó jẹ́ pé the greedy landlord of Lagos náà pè. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ kankan ẹ gbọ́ pé Tinubu lówó Alpha Beta le consultancy. Hello.
À ń gbọ́ ìsà.
Alpha Beta ni consultancy tó fi gba internally generated
revenue
money. Nígbà tí Ọbásanjọ́ sanwó fún gbà yẹn, ó create kíní yẹn so that a lè fi máa lé owó láti fi pẹ̀lú economy láti fi run government yẹn. Ó wá create local government area. So gbogbo ẹ̀ ló wá ń fi owó yẹn tó fi pòpẹ́lì ńgbà yẹn. In other words, it's a good idea, but that's the only thing I see that it is done. But nígbà yẹn tí ẹ bá lọ sanwó, ẹ bá fẹ́ kọ́lé, ẹ lọ sanwó fún ilẹ̀ revenue, wọ́n á fún yín rìsíìtì kan, owó yẹn ọ̀wọ́ cover government. Nǹkan tó jẹ́ kó ṣe nǹkan tó ṣe nìyẹn. Torí àwọn tó wà nídìí ìbọn ń bẹ̀, wọ́n bẹ̀ sí ní kó gbogbo ẹ̀ jẹ, wọn ò rówó ń bẹ̀. How can you revenue not have money? HMRC bí wọ́n sọ pé kò lówó. Wọ́n ń jòkì bọ́n ṣe ń gba tax, wọ́n ṣe ń gba NI, bọ́n ṣe ń gba NI, wọ́n ṣe ń gba VAT. VAT tá a gbà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. You take it to Abuja and share, and then you call it Sharia. Àdí tó ń tọ́tí ní Kano ní Kaduna ní Kafasha, ẹ kó gbogbo ìgò ọtí. Ẹ bírèkì ẹ̀, ẹ ń da ọtí. Money you pour into the drain. Ẹnì gba VAT lórí wọn. Ẹni tó níyẹn ìyẹn kúrí. Ṣé ó kúrí? He bought it. You don't allow him to sell. Despite that, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin kàbá tẹ́ wà ní gbogbo ìdí ìbọn mafia. You have underground a cellar under your house. Ẹmu tí ń bẹ̀ kò sí ọtí tí ò sí bẹ̀ yẹn. Hennessy, Cavasoya, Shandy, Candy, gbogbo all drinks here, wine, everything is there under their cellar. wọ́n dẹ̀ máa pè yí pé àwọn aláàjì àwọn aráàmù ni. So I would suggest all of you, don't bother about the election because number for you know, take the money, don't go and vote for anybody. Because the government in Nigeria, at the end of it, make sure you propel yourself. Wá jẹ sílé, wọ́n ti ní kẹrà jẹ sílé torí tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣàgbọ̀n fẹ́ gbà lẹ́rọ̀ èlé ni wọ́n fẹ́. So kọ̀tọ́ dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn. That's why they are taking all machinery, bringing them with Dangote's truck. Ìyẹn nìyẹn ṣe sponsor bill. Ọlọ́run wá ṣe pé bíìlì yẹn wọn ò bá sí ẹ̀. Wọ́n gba omi lọ́wọ́ yín, wọ́n gba sí lọ́wọ́ yín, gbogbo rírà sí yín nílùú yín 30 miles sí ibi omi, wọ́n da màálù síbẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó ń jẹ màálù yẹn. Nígbà tí àwọn àgbà kékeré ẹja ṣáwọn àgbódò la ń jẹ. Tí a bá jẹ yẹn ẹjẹ prawns. Tí a bá ṣe yẹn àálọ́dẹ òkú, àálọ́dẹ ẹ̀kọ́rẹ́, which means pé Trump a máa pa ẹran ọ̀yà. This is how we were living there. And àwọn náà I am not overweight, but I know I'm empty and overweight. Me, the teacher for over 50 years. I'm going to be 50 years in this country, which is crap. Nígbà tí Yorùbá wà bẹ́ẹ̀, tọ́wọ́ sọ pé Yorùbá nation, tí mo lè rọra ṣe nǹkan tí màá máa jẹun. They have nílé bẹ̀, a ní gbogbo nǹkan, a ní lọ́ọ́ bẹ̀. Àwọn tó wà lé ò lè jáde, wọ́n á ní ẹ̀rù bà wọ́n, èyí ló ń gba VVC. Àwọn tó wà wáṣẹ́ fún yín, àwọn tó sọ yín jẹ gan-an lẹ̀, wọ́n fẹ́ tún sọ gbogbo Yorùbá di àbókí bíi Haúsá. Ṣé ìyẹn lẹ ẹ fẹ́? That's what you all want? To be servant to anybody? Are you a servant to somebody? I will never be a servant to anybody. He said cowards that never stand for their death, but the violence never died but once.
Daddy, Big Daddy, Kato, my wind down. We still have about half an hour, and I really appreciate the time that you've spent with me this evening, enlightening us and taking us back through the memory lane. Because someone like you, we have so many of our Big Daddy that are there. In Nigeria only work. Why is it that the youth of today tend not to listen? Because you are older than us, you have been able to see it all. I mean, you've lived in Nigeria at some point, you are currently living here in UK, you've experienced even as much of what we have not even experienced. What is it difficult for those at home to understand that the country Nigeria today will be very, very difficult to be together as one country after the forceful marriage of 1914? Why is it so difficult? Because we still have that half an hour that I really want to take advantage of. Because this evening is very, very important, and a lot of us are learning from you. I interrupt you. I just want you to flow so that you can get it out, and then I can go back later on and even listen to it again and again. And I want to them who are all over the world are saying a big thank you to you for spending your evening with us this particular evening. Go ahead, sir.
Our youth, those youths who think Nigeria is not to work because they haven't experienced anything. That is why they left school. Now, when you leave school, you go to work. Ní Batiwa, when you leave school, or you want to go for further studies, wọ́n ní kó lọ fẹ́yàwó, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ lọ sí school. There is internet, there is phone, there is social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wà. You are tapping to the new technology. That is why, tó jẹ́ pé, you haven't seen what went wrong when you look back, you will find that, you have seen what has gone wrong, you are witnessing it, but by the next 10, 20 years, you'll be able to put them together and say, oh, do you have to know somebody before you get the job? Do you have to know, go and borrow somebody some money before you eat? You see, in the last 60 years, how come there is no electricity in the whole of the continent, in the whole of Nigeria? Why? What is so difficult? Why? The meaning of why there is no electricity is because Atiku, he was the provider of generator.
Emma Big Daddy, for cutting you short there, and I can show the image as you're talking about the electricity. I was actually getting the message now that is just the image coming behind you. If you're watching me right there, what is actually happening behind the scene is that there is now electricity that has been shut down, due to the strike in Nigeria. I'm sure if you have another screen, you'll be able to see that. So what is actually right behind me right now in the image that the engineer have showed us at the background, electricity workers have begun nationwide strike, and they've literally now shut down, the power in the country. Go ahead, sir.
They have told you, Obadia Malafia has told everybody, you ain't seen nothing yet. By 2022, they want to open up. They want to go to village, urban city to urban village, switch off the light, switch off the grid, everybody in darkness, and begin to kill people. Because they want to take Lekki, Ikoyi, Lagos from all of you. But none of you understand it. Atiku don't generate long generator was in Nigeria. That is why they're finino. How do you find at 30 kV, 60 kV, 100 kV, hotel? How can you have an hotel? I have electricity there, electricity on a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, in the middle of peak period. You know, what would the electrical if they make? And these are the things that Atiku ṣe ìyẹn náà sọ pé gbogbo ní Nigerian Port Authority yẹn there is we call a bat. Bí tí wọ́n pè ní bat.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni
bat. Ibi tí ọkọ̀ ojú omi ẹ̀ máa ń dó sí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Adébẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n á já sí store ẹ̀. Wọ́n á jí èyí tán máa jí nínú tí wọ́n tún wọ̀n ní dé ti ọ̀dọ̀ tiẹ̀. Wọ́n á wá kó gbogbo òkò tó jí ní wọ́n á lọ kó fún gate man. So àwọn yìí á bá wọn máa tà á torí the first man to call is him at the gate. Abẹ́ra brain ní Mercedes Benz. Abẹ́ra táyà mirror backlight frontlight rear light mirror glasses electric propelling system gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa ṣe ọ̀ntì tó package máa yẹn ní Port Authority ìgbà yẹn ní trade yẹn tó stop that was in the 90s or early 2000 in the 90s náà pa torí yẹn bá débẹ̀ nǹkan tó ìwọ tó gbé Mercedes wá tí wọ́n ti yọ brain box ẹ̀ tán dẹ̀ sọ pé kò lọ gbé tó yọnu tẹ̀ ló lọ́ra gbogbo how can you export a vehicle gbogbo ẹ̀ níná ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ pàṣẹ ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ di Port Authority wọ́n jí nínú ṣìkò ó dẹ̀ dé Nàìjíríà ní Port Authority tó já wọ́n dẹ̀ já gbogbo nǹkan tó wà lábẹ́ wọ́n já gbogbo ẹ̀ silencer wọ́n yọ. So nǹkan tó jẹ́ ká ní lọ́dún yẹn ẹni tó wà nídìí ìbọn and he was deputy there he was vice ó kàn lo gbogbo agbára aside kò dẹ̀ tí ì fẹ́ jáde ẹ̀ ó sì tún fẹ́ jẹ́ president láti loot more and loot more and loot more and ẹni ìyá ọmọ Cameroon ni o is not in Nigeria wọ́n gbà tọ́ ni o bí wọ́n ti gba Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu tọ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nìyẹn o. Nǹkan tó rúkọ ẹ̀ sí ń jà Abubakar nìyẹn o ẹni tó gbà sílé ló tọ́ lórúkọ ìyẹn ló ti ọba ti sọ̀rọ̀ we went to the same school together and we were in Lagos together we were Abu together we are in Ibadan together we are Unilag together and we are Zaria together gbogbo ẹ̀ bó ṣì ní gbogbo ẹ̀ fún yín wọ́n fi ń jẹ́ lójì ṣàlùsí kò níbẹ̀ yẹn wá jókòó ṣe kí ló bá ṣe wọ́n fẹ́ wá jẹ Sẹ́ríkì àdúrà Sẹ́ríkì tún wà ẹ̀mí ò mọ̀ pé Sẹ́ríkì tún wà ní fẹ́sítàkì Sẹ́ríkì kan náà tún wà ní Ìkẹjà you can imagine they have the audacity until you all rise up and defend your balance and intelligent inheritance. So if this time can pass you, Awolowo said, and one of the former visionaries also said, if you let this time pass me, I doubt whether there will be anything done better in Nigeria. That is, do not let the time pass me. If there is anything I can do for Nigeria, let me do it now. And there is one where something wise. Professor Wise Yoruba. Only if there is anything I can do to help my country, let me do it now. Because before the time is passed. But also, presidency, and then gbogbo àwọn Fúlàní gbogbo àwọn tó ti jókòó àwọn bàbá wọn àwọn náà bá gbogbo ẹ̀ jẹ́ òun náà fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ nǹkan máa jẹ kẹ́yìn máa ṣe ẹrú káwọn máa gbádùn káwọn máa sọ pé you go this way you go that way àwọn tó kàwé tó yí nìyẹn o.
Okay. As we are now just about 20 minutes away, just to to come back to the conversation, are we saying that if Nigeria divide, it will be of benefit to everyone as against continue to remain in one country called Nigeria?
Okay, how can you ask somebody who is a lazy guy to invest? They are looting. At the end of it, why are they looting? Because there is money there. In accountancy, we call it, and the economy, we call it liquid. You know what is called liquid? It's a tap. You turn it, the money will flow. That is how they get easy money. That's why all the northern governors, they are not productive. If they are productive, they have lands, they have landscape, they have a land that is good to plant pyramids of peanuts. Why can't they do that? Àbí ẹ̀pà kan náà sọ pé wọ́n gbìn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣèbí ẹ̀pà kan náà sọ pé ẹ̀pà yẹn náà fi bí ìdí Nàìjíríà. Àwọn ọmọ tó bí ń jẹta náà sọ pé ẹ̀pà náà fi bí ìdí Nàìjíríà. Kòkó làwọn fi bí ìdí Ọ̀yọ́. Cocoa House, the tallest there, first television there, first Liberty Stadium, 1962. Sheffield Wednesday wá sí Èkó. Sheffield Wednesday wọ́n wá sí Ìbàdàn wá play. Western Rovers nígbà yẹn. Western Rovers nígbà yẹn. Wọ́n fún Western Rovers ní ìṣe 11-2. Dẹ̀jọ́ Fáyẹmí àti Jídé George náà score àwọn méjì yẹn. Torí pé wọ́n lo fraud line fún wọn ní Ìbàdàn. Nígbà tí wọ́n dé East ní Enugu whatever the country is there. Wọ́n wá ní kọ́ play ní 2 o'clock in the afternoon. nígbà tó gbá bọ́ọ̀lù 5 minutes ó kàn rẹ̀ wọ́n ni àwọn Enugu Rangers wọ́n kàn nà wọ́n badly nígbà yẹn. What I'm saying in a nutshell is that you cannot ask people who are not productive, can you come around government? They don't know anything. How can you promote IG, Inspector General of Police, who is number 26, 28, over one, which is 26 subordinates down. Not promote above everybody. That was then. The same thing. Who was the Chief Justice then?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Toyo.
Yeah.
Toyo. The same thing now Justice Odili.
Yeah.
Justice Odili. Justice Odili is 30 or 30 something years in Belgium. And that is why I told you, Bẹ́ẹ̀ni Bárànà, ó jẹ́ anything o, kó máa ṣe activities here. Tí wọ́n bá sọ pé ẹni tó bá jẹ, tí wọ́n sọ pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì nìkan tó kú fẹ́ jẹ Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Fẹ́mi Bárànà ló yẹ kán fún síbẹ̀. Àtúgbò ẹ̀ fún wọn. Ṣé ẹni tó lọ ṣe ṣàríyá lọ? Lọ́wọ́ mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n pè ní jurisdiction. So this is how they are, and they call them their professors in Sharia law, they are professors in cleric, they are professors in fundamentalism, like El-Rifai, the yellow arrest in your level. One pick up people, our barristers, our lawyers, MBA then about 4 years ago, all arrest one level, what you want Kaduna. Kaduna wọn lọ sùn ẹ̀ láti kó wọ́n sùn ẹ̀ Kaduna ní kán pé owó fún àwọn yẹn. Up to now he refused to do it. Kò lè mọ̀ pé nígbà tó bá pò immunity yẹn máa lọ, immunity Buhari máa lọ, gbogbo wọn immunity yẹn máa lọ. They will come and suffer for it. Mobutu ẹ bá rántí.
Mobutu Sese Seko.
Mobutu was en route from Congo in 1977 en route to go to France or Belgium, whichever. Wọ́n arrest en route in the area náà sọ pé ó ti wà area. Wọ́n arrest ẹ̀ náà lọ sí Hague. Ibẹ̀ náà ti dájọ́ ẹ̀. Òun dẹ̀ ló ṣekú pa Patrice Lumumba. Kasavubu, Mobutu, and Chombe. Gbogbo àwọn yẹn, they are all bí wọ́n ti sọ pé àwọn rivals wà ní Nàìjíríà kan ṣe bí ń gbà everybody from Katanga, Isinja, and Leopoldville gbogbo wọn ti wá. Ìyẹn ni wọ́n ti sọ pé to the extent of Katangi teaching their own country Lumumba. That was there, that is true. So, in a nutshell, you cannot have somebody who is not productive to come and superintend over productive area. Okay.
Okay.
That's why I say anybody to be a manager, do you do management? Did you study management? You plan? You organize? You control,
okay.
You motivate and innovate. That is the principle of management. Okay. Anybody to buy Henry Fayon, Timayo, Christopher Maxlow, Heinsberg, Julia Follett, Peter Drucker, Igor Ansoff, strategic management, and Smith, John Smith.
Okay. Just before we, I'm going to allow you to go in just about 3-5 minutes. And I say once again, I couldn't have thanked you more than enough, Big Daddy. And I hope, when we call you again, you will give us, the ample of time to gain from your experience. As we're going to be, bringing the conversation closer now. I just want you to help us in just about under 5 minutes, for the benefit of those that probably will listen to this, later on, summary of almost everything you've said as short as possible. Once again, for the benefit of those that have joined us, you're listening to Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Every Wednesday, this is how we do it, where we discuss issues affecting the Yorubas that wants to move out of Nigeria, and those Nigerians that still believe in Nigeria. But tonight we have our big daddy that have been having a conversation with us for the last 1 hour. He's going to give us a summary of some of what he has said within the last an hour and a half. Today is the 17th of August 2022, and the conversation has been advantage of industrial economy in Yoruba nation. Go ahead, Big Daddy.
Yeah, we started with GDP, gross domestic product. Those are goods and services that a nation must be able to have. Meaning, what do you produce? How do you produce it? With the machinery, the triumphs of economics management, which is money, machinery, and human resources, which is personnel. Then you have that one as goods. You manufacture goods, you sell it, you profit, you plow the money back into the industry, and you go on. That's that. Then the second one is that is goods, which is physical. The other one is insurance, banking. Check it to me.
Agree. I'm going to go ahead.
Television.
Yeah.
Television. Those are the invisible services are insurance, banking, advertising, news, TV services, radio, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, digital. These are things that can earn money for a nation, and it will be beneficial for Yoruba nation when it is established. And one more time, it is better we do one thing. Kibogowa can contribute to central account. Ominira Yoruba 2022 can contribute to it. Help the media, those who are in the media, help those who are doing our website, those IT gurus who are developing websites for us, including Mayego and all those ones. Keep and help us so that we will have cash, money to propel our economy. It's not difficult. It is visible. It is doable. If you have 100 million and you plow it and generate 50 million, you plow back 150 million, you do another, you sell it at another 100 million, that is 250. You buy it, Okoti Awolowo official ní Western Nigeria nìyẹn. He established cooperatives, Agbomagbe, Wema Bank, those National Bank, OYO, which is Western Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation, Cocoa House there, Liberty Stadium, forestry, farming, and he made sure that everybody has food. Haruna Shola, Apala, Yusuf, gbogbo àwọn tó ń kọrin yẹn, they are local people in their local area to enjoy the benefit of Awolowo era. And that is why nobody went to their village to ransack them or harass them, to bully them. They were able to sleep with their two eyes closed and they invest. And the whole life more abundant. Inú wa ń dùn tá a bá lọ sí school ni, Taba ti jáde school ní 2:30 a máa sáré lọ mu gàrí á padà wá taba ti padà wá 6 àwa ṣe music dancing football debate society primary school ni mo sọ yìí o agriculture singing church and every other thing tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe and that is how life was and I am saying this between 1954 and 1960 mo sọ ní ìṣọ́tí ti secondary school o and this is how the whole town was then the whole of Western Nigeria was you know what you say illuminated. When you illuminate it, you bring light to it. There was light, there was everything. See, electricity power, bring light to it. There is a lot of things. So just it will generate, it will be a spin-off of all industries. To Banilo, Wale Lota, Wale Soi, Wale Dano, you can have a restaurant, you can have a bouquet somewhere, and you can have a laundry, you can have a boutique, salon, you can have everything because of electricity alone. That is what electricity provides. It provides energy for the whole system. Without energy, there is nothing. And then there is a use of solar power, which can be developed. But these are the things that the Nigerian government are not doing. They just come there, steal money, lose them, say they recover, they won't give you where the little money goes. And they went to borrow money. And they borrow money to China to go, Yana, because they have no collateral.
Wow.
You have to have a collateral before you are able to borrow money. And these are the things the Yoruba nation will do. Anybody to ban toyin pe kò lè ṣe é ṣe. Baba Professor Akintoye ti sọ fún yín, Yoruba are brilliant people. They are more civilized, subtle. They keep harmony of people. They don't keep jealous of anybody. They are very accommodating. And when you are accommodating, you are engaging, you are involving, you are motivation, you favor things that will propel all the whole society to live in harmony. And that is how we want a Yoruba nation to do. Wow. And in other words, unite and fight for your self-determination.
Thank you so much.
Àwọn tó wà ń ta tán máa help yín they are there. Tí wọ́n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà wọn, ẹ rí i pé àwọn tó máa spring up. Ẹ̀yin fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Tó tí wọ́n bá gbọ́, wọ́n tètè yá fi pé we cannot fight and you come to be my friend again. You cannot do that. You cannot kill my family now and then you want to be my friend. You want to live in harmony with you. It won't be possible. Therefore, it is better they listen, they take what they have, and then use it for their own benefit in the north. Rí fídíò kan tó ń tẹ́lẹ̀ tí wọ́n lọ fún train láti Èkó tí gbogbo train tàbí 2 miles pẹ̀lú car tó ń mú lọ sí Niger.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, mo rí.
Rí.
Mo rí.
Wọ́n ti shut down ti Nàìjíríà o. Wọ́n kọ̀ kó kiri with our money wọ́n develop people láti bí ẹ̀dẹ̀ rántí kéékèèké tí wọ́n fi wá epo láti Niger Delta.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Kéékèèké. Factory tó wà ní Kaduna àbí Kano. How can you have an oil refinery in Kaduna in Kano which is a zero production and you are spending millions?
If not billions.
To maintain it. You have millions to maintain it.
A share on it.
And tell coffee 100 million, 50 million, tó lọ fi bring the camp fún àwọn COVID. Tójò rọ̀ tí gbogbo ẹ lọ.
Thank you so much. Yeah, finish up. Yeah.
These people have a lot to answer.
They have a lot to answer. Okay.
So, during the 77 UN Assembly, everybody should try as much as possible to go there, and our mega rally, don't forget about it. Don't forget to buy your flags. I want all the t-shirt, or a t-shirt that they feel like.
Big Daddy. I make sure I think on the courtesy of Niger Voices on Star Radio UK, please send me your address and we'll be shipping out some few stuff with you tomorrow, and you should get them on Friday failingly. So please, after this conversation, help me to send your address so that we can package some flags and some few other bits and send them across to you. For giving us this powerful time of yours. I know it's been a long one. I've really stretched you, and I've not tried to interfere, as you were speaking, because I wanted to catch as much. We've been able to also capture some of what you were saying into shorter audio that is already going in circulation as I speak to you right now. So some of what you've been saying as I speak right now is already traveling, across the globe, in as much as they will also be able to listen to them on Star Radio UK. So in just a minute, help me to appreciate everyone that have joined us listening to you in the last 1.5 hours. Big Daddy.
Thank you very much, everybody.
And a lot of people are saying thank you. Oluremi Ogabi says thank you so much, Big Daddy. Dennis Joseph say Yoruba Nation now. Abe Omogu say good job. Dennis also said, Mr. Koiki, please can you bring Big Daddy to your program? I love the conversation with you, please. It's giving good info. I am happy tonight for listening to these. Adetutu Adegbeson say, Big Daddy, thank you so much. Adetutu also say, Ashe Eledumare. And likewise, a lot of people on the Facebook are also.
Thank you for everybody in South America, Brazil, Cuba, Jamaica, and all the Southern America, and North America, Canada, US, Europe, Australia, South Africa, Asia, Japan,
all over the world.
China, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'll let you go. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you later on as well. Please do help me send the address so that we can package it, and then you can get them on Friday, so that the next time you'll be out, you will also have a very beautiful flag to also showcase as well. Thank you so much, Big Daddy. Thank you for now. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Well, I would have loved to just keep him. He was giving us, the analysis. He was taking his time. I mean, we're talking about somebody, in his probably, over 70, and you can still see the way he was, explaining in details. The question then to those of you that are the youth, if our father, the Big Daddy that spoke to us, is telling us that Nigeria can never work, the question is, what is giving you that assurance? What is still giving you that guarantee that Nigeria will work? Nigeria has come to its expiry time, and we must just allow Nigeria to go so that we can always have our own peace of mind. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and as I wish I could continue, we're just about 6 minutes away before the end of tonight's program, but I wouldn't have gone without also playing this particular audio. We couldn't play it at the beginning. Let us now enjoy part of it. It is called Orile de Mi by Janet, and this is how it goes. before I will be handing over to Archie and Frank and all the rest of the team. My name is Olayomi Koiki. Thank you so much. Mr. Sulaiman Yusuf, thank you. Gold Olasukomi, thank you so much. Let's appreciate everyone that have joined us so far. Andy, thank you so much. Ibrahim Bello, Olalekan Saliu, Ayoade. The mega rally will be called very, very soon. Iyawa Eninolobo, thank you so much. Otumba Badmos, Moki Gbogbo Àwọn Baálẹ̀, Gbogbo Ọba, Moki Gbogbo Yín Pátápátá. Olúwadámiláre, as we say, from tonight, I'll be back again same time tomorrow with our breakfast show when we come back in the morning, and I'll be joining the Star Radio UK at 11 o'clock. Property Hours is coming up tomorrow. Kazim Omola Oladimeji, thank you so much. Yawa Bolanle Oyebolu, thank you so much. Ogundare Ramono, thank you so much. And if we miss your name, please don't be upset. Mr. Asogba Joshua, I hope I didn't massacre your name. Prince is not a pet name. When somebody is Prince, it's definitely Yami Adeni Kelfi. I can cite you there, all those of you in America, in Canada, and let us remain focused. Yoruba Nation will definitely have to come. There's no doubt about that. Thank you so much, Festus Olatunde, and those of you on the Instagram as well. I wouldn't go without saying thank you so much. Sonyaolu 007, Project 06, Tayo Mafe, Omo Anyide. Yes, we're not on YouTube, but we're on YouTube on Star Radio UK. You could have watched it from there. And the rest of you, Omo Kosa 7, Mokibo Para Footprint, official, and I can't mention all the names. Tony J's, 01 coded. We love you all from Star Radio UK. Nigeria is not going to work. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Do not waste any energy on that. On the mixer line, we thank you so much. And I have to go right now to hand over back to the studio. My name is Olayomi Koiki. Enjoy this music. We'll be back again same time next week. I'll make sure you join me at Wednesday, and we have a special guest next week. Tune in as well. Olayomi Koiki, and you've been enjoying Star Radio UK. I'll be back again same time next week. Bye for now. And Oluremi says in the 70s, all our let me catch that comment before we go. She says that I quote, in the 70s, all our 4 refineries were working. Warri 1, Warri 2, LSR, LMA in Port Harcourt and Kaduna. None of them seems to be working. Billions of dollars and naira have been pumped into them, and nothing seems to be working. Aki Gbogbo Yoruba worldwide, Mokiba Baba, Professor Banji Akintoye, Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola, our father, the deputy of Ilana Omodua, and all the chapter. Enjoy the music as the Star Radio UK is now winding down at 8:30. The studio will take over from me. Once again, I'll be back next week Wednesday. Sadiq, I say good evening to you. Moki Gbogbo Antowa Lofiki, Moki Gbogbo community Konkon, and I say Odudu Agbewa Yoruba Nation now, and it is now. Hey. Next time you're sending money home, remember to use Sendwave to send money to your loved ones back in Nigeria, as we say, Odaro. Èmi yóò kọ́ olóko fáráyé, èmi yóò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o. Èmi fún mi ní And to all our listeners around the globe, I say thank you so much. Make sure you tune in next week, Wednesday.